Hello. So I just realized something as I was filming the outro clip to my Monday vlog. I just realized I never uploaded my introduction to YouTube video. So I had filmed a video. It was the first thing that I made, and I edited it. And I filmed a video like, oh, hi, my name is Margot, and this is my channel, and blah, 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 blah. And I deleted it. So yeah, I'm like, oh, I should probably film an introduction video. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that I deleted it because I wasn't really happy with it, because I have a hard time talking about myself unprompted with questions. So like if somebody asks me, oh, like describe a couple of things about yourself, I'm like SpongeBob when he needs to forget everything but fine dining, and they ask his name.
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name?
Like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know who I am. Like, don't ask me. So I decided to do the Booktube Newbie Tag instead of doing just a regular introduction video. So I've got questions right here. I looked up the actual Booktube Newbie Tag, and I only liked a few of the questions on it because some of them were like job interview style questions. It's like, one of them was like, oh, what's something that you feel like you could contribute to the booktube space? I'm like, am I interviewing for a job? Like, I'm doing this for fun. I want to meet people. I'm not trying to like become some sort of innovative booktuber or anything like that. So I borrowed some questions from the Booktube Newbie Tag, and then I also just added some of my own questions because it also like, it wasn't like, for it being a Booktube newbie and like an introduction tag, it didn't really have very many questions that like were get to know me. So my name is Margot, and I am gonna go by the questions because like I said, I have a hard time without questions. So first question is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel for a couple of reasons. Biggest reason was because I wanted to find a community of people who had some of my common interests. I mean, it is, at least for me, it is hard to find people who are my age, who have common interests in reading, and not just in reading, but similar books that I want to read. Like, I've got great friends, but my friends do not want to read ACOTAR. They don't want to read the Stormlight Archives. Some of my friends don't even read. So like I don't want to like pressure them and put my likes on them. It's like, no, they're them, I am me. We love each other, but we don't have all the same interests. So I would love to meet some new people who have common interests and who we can like geek out and fangirl over books with. And then I also started this channel because I am kind of in like an enlightened period of my life where I'm trying to say yes to more things, try more things that I want to try, and say no to things that I don't want to try. So I really want to start saying yes to myself, where if I have an idea like, oh, I really want to start this booktube channel, I'm done talking myself out of it because I'm afraid that people are going to make fun of me, or I'm going to be embarrassed, or my family is going to find out. I'm not doing anything criminal over here. I'm literally just making videos about books, okay? So that is why I started this channel. Second question, what am I most excited for? I am most excited for building a community, number one. And number two, honestly, I'm really excited to learn how to do more. Yeah, that is what I'm excited for. I'm excited to learn a new skill because, like I said, even if this whole thing doesn't turn out, even if I don't end up doing this for 6 months, even if I don't get any more subscribers other than the 3 people who are currently subscribed to me, at least I have gained some new skills. So yeah. Question number 3, why do I love reading? That is, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know why I love reading so much. I think that, you know, my mom was an avid reader. My aunt still is an avid reader. She's one of the few people in my life who I do discuss books with. And I think that there's something so unique about reading where it is an entirely immersive experience, even though it only really takes one sense, sight, or not even that, because you can read Braille. So it could be multiple senses, but in audiobooks, so scratch that. It does take more than just sight. I guess what I mean by that is it's not overstimulating. Like if you're watching movies, you've got sight, you've got sound, you've got colors, you've got all this other stuff going on. And whenever I watch movies or TV shows, I'm immersed, but I'm never quite as immersed as I am when I'm reading, because you're really in the characters' heads when you're reading. The stories are a lot more nuanced. The stories are a lot more in depth. It literally does. It is an escape. Like, it takes you to another world. And there's something so satisfying about the accomplishment of reading a book too, because you spend hours reading. Finishing one book, especially if you're a slower reader like myself, it takes time. Like reading a 600-page book takes me damn near 12 hours. Like that takes time. And once you finish that and you turn that last page and you cover it and you close the back of that book, you feel this sense of accomplishment. So I think that's why I like reading. All those reasons combined. Next question, series I'm interested in starting. None. I'm not really interested in starting any more series right now. I don't want to really start anything too crazy until I've finished the books that I currently have. And I also, I'm literally staring right now at a shelf of books that is literally first books in series. But yeah, I'm not really interested in starting any more series at the time, but I'm sure I will still end up, hearing a really good synopsis or somebody giving a review for a book that sounds so good and starting it anyway, because I'm pretty sure Long Live Evil is the first book in a series. So next one is questions for your favorite booktuber, which I felt like that was a really vague question. So I kind of am going to doctor it up and say, okay, if I could ask my favorite booktuber one question or advice, what would it be? And I guess my question would be, what is your balance between work, life, booktube? Okay, next question is, when did I start reading? And then I also added on to this question, when did I start watching booktube? So when did I start reading? I mean, when I learned how to read is when I started reading. So probably when I was 5 or 6. I can't remember exactly when I started reading. When did I start reading more avidly and became obsessed with books? I'd say when I was in middle school, I really loved, because that's when Borders was still open. I used to love going to Borders. Oh my gosh. There used to be a Borders that was, I think it was in Birmingham on Woodward, and it was 2 stories. And I used to love it. And it was huge. It was huge. The whole bottom floor was all books. And the whole top floor was other sorts of forms of media. And they had these really nice chairs. Oh my gosh. And they had a really nice vestibule. I miss Borders. Oh my gosh. When I got into high school, sophomore year, either sophomore or junior year is when I started watching Booktube, and honestly, watching Booktube made me want to read more. And that was old school Booktube too, where it was there were hardly any vlogs. It was all everybody's videos were the same. It was either you're hauling, it's your TBR, or it's your wrap up. That was pretty much it. There were very few reading vlogs back in the day. Where do I read? I've got 2 prime real estate reading spots in the house. So my favorite spot to read, or actually no, 3, and I put up 4 fingers, 3. So this chair is a great reading spot. The next favorite reading spot is where I filmed a couple of clips for my first vlog. It's on the couch in the corner by the side table. Love that. Third favorite is at my desk. I need to be sitting up to read. I cannot be lounging. I've used to read on the beanbag that's in the office, but I had to stop doing that because I will fall asleep while reading like that. That's why, and I love reading at my desk because I can put on my headphones, and I prefer those headphones as opposed to AirPods for reading. And I've got my reading room on in front of me. I got my desk, and I'm able to really concentrate more on the book. So those are my favorite spots to read in the house. And then outside of the house, I love reading at, I almost said Borders, at Barnes & Noble. I like reading at Barnes & Noble as well. What kind of books do I like reading? So I mostly read fantasy, but I also will, so I will get into like strictly romance moods too, where I will read just like romance back to back to back. I tend to like old school Taylor Jenkins Reid. Her first couple of books, a lot of them were romances, but they were mostly about women who were in a transitional period in their life and them kind of dealing with internal things, but then also having romantic interests in the background. And it had some like, you know, steamier scenes, but it was never too smutty. I like stuff like that. I like, who is it? Ashley Poston is one of my favorite romance authors. Emily Henry, even though she's kind of, the last couple Emily Henry books I haven't loved. I do really like Abby Jimenez's books. And then I like fantasy a lot. I used to really be into fantasy romance, but I haven't really, I've had a lot of misses with fantasy romance. So mostly adult fantasy at this point in my life. And then another genre of books that I like is, I do like crime / mystery novels where it's like a detective solving like a case. I like those. But they're very hard to find good detective novels that are like that. And then one that's even harder to find that I do absolutely love are gothic novels, gothic thrillers, gothic psychological thrillers. Those are my favorite. Think like, so I'm going to compare it to movies. Think like Crimson Peak, think like Skeleton Key, books that take place in like these old decrepit mansions during the Victorian era, and it's usually like a woman who gets married off to some man who's like a recluse, and then this house is trying to warn her of something. That kind of stuff I love, but those books are very hard to come by. And then I also like haunted house books, but the house has to be old. I don't know what it is. The house has to be built in the 1800s. Okay, next question is, what are some challenges, reading challenges that I want to try? Now, I made up these next couple questions. Reading challenges that I would like to try. I would like to successfully read, film, edit, and upload, okay, because I have to make that distinction. A random number generator chooses how long I read for a week, okay? I want to do one of those. I really want to do a 24-hour readathon, but those are hard because I don't usually have like 24 hours worth of free time. And I know some people will do like where they split it, or they'll keep on vlogging until they've reached 24 hours of reading. So I would like to do something like that. Reading 200 pages a day for a week, stuff like that. Just challenges that make me read more. And next question is, my favorite book series is the original Miss Bourne trilogy. I love these books so much. And my favorite book in this series is probably Well of Ascension, which I think is an unpopular opinion. Last two questions. First, my favorite kind of videos to watch. I mostly just watch reading vlogs. I also will watch some sit-down videos, but it is typically, like, there's no specific sit-down video that I seek out. It's just if somebody that I'm subscribed to makes a sit-down video, I'll typically watch it. And then last question, who are my favorite booktubers? Okay, sorry, I had to write down another name because I never really remember people's channel. What in the world?
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
There's a squirrel on the windowsill. Can you guys hear that? There's a squirrel skittering on the windowsill. Okay, so I love Books with Brittany, Capri's Bookland, Jess Owens. I love Jess Owens' video. Anything Jess Owens posts, I'm watching it. Sarah without an H, I love her videos. She makes such funny videos. And then Joyce Wesley. Those are my top 5. There's so many others. Anyway, that is the Booktube Newbie Tag. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit about me. And introduce yourself if you're watching down below. Bye.